He was born out of wedlock in the summer of '69. His mama was an addict, his daddy was in jail doing time. Left in a filthy apartment, alone he would sit and cry, while his mother was out doing whatever it took to get another high. One day knocked over a bottle of open bleach. He burned his little eyes so bad that he could no longer see. And when his daddy got out of prison, he could not bear the sound of a hungry and crying little blind boy even being around. So he started feeding him. In his rage he went wild. The detective cried and he said, how could anyone do such a thing to his own child? His daddy went back to prison and his mama went back to the streets. And the crying little blind boy went to a place of love and security. He was born without a prayer, but he died in God's amazing grace. No longer blind and hungry, no more tears will ever again stain his face. He's where he's loved and wanted, unlike his last place. He was born without a prayer, but he died in God's amazing grace. When the news broke the story, quite a few people came to pay their respects for the little blind boy with no name. There was not a dry eye there. Everyone was overcome with grief at all the pain and suffering he endured in his little life so brief. They had to leave his casket closed. The undertaker thought it best, and the church donated a plot for him to be laid to rest. The papers said the cause of death was blunt force trauma to his head, but the preacher at the chapel stood over his body and said, he was born without a prayer, but he died in God's amazing grace. No longer blind and hungry, no more tears will ever again stain his face. He's where he's loved and wanted, unlike his last place. He was born without a prayer, but he died in God's amazing grace. He was born without a prayer, but the little blind boy died in God's amazing grace.